Welcome back, everybody. Going to gather around the telescope and have a talk. And something I've been wanting to do for a while is I want to start covering a little bit about ancient astronomer or even modern astronomers. Just pick one, start to go through them. And the one I picked this week is Ptolemy. This podcast, I have a couple prepared, and so you'll probably see these over the next couple days. We're going to start off with the one that I call the lesser known side of Ptolemy. When we usually think ancient astronomy, one name that almost always comes up is Claudius Ptolemy. He's usually remembered as the guy who got it wrong because of his Earth-centric model of the universe, where the Earth is the center of the universe. However, the story behind him is actually, I think, kind of interesting. What's surprising is that despite his massive influence, we know almost nothing about him, about Ptolemy. No portraits, no letters. The image that I have that I'll post on the Patreon, the EadsyAstronomy site, for that post is just a picture drawn up by him from the Renaissance period. We have no portraits, no letters, like I said. We don't even have an exact birth date or location, or even a death date for the guy. Some scholars speculate because of his name, he probably was of Greek or Hellenized Egyptian ethnicity. Everything we know about him comes from his book, most from his most famous book, the Almagest. Ptolemy worked and lived in Alexandria, Egypt. He was one of the greatest scientific hubs of the ancient world. Evidence suggests he probably spent most of his life there, relying heavily on earlier observations rather than traveling widely himself. In fact, a lot of modern historians believe he used star data collected by earlier astronomers, Hipparchus, sometimes without clearly giving credit to them. That started debate for centuries. Was Ptolemy an observer or a more brilliant compiler? And we'll get into that in another post. Ptolemy cataloged over 1,000 stars, creating a reference that remained the gold standard for more than 1,400 years. Yeah, it has errors, and some star positions were off, and a few stars probably couldn't even be seen from Alexandria, but it worked well enough that no one seriously replaced it until the Renaissance. And here's something many people forget. Ptolemy absolutely knew the Earth was spherical. He got the size wrong, but educated scholars in the ancient world already understood this, that using lunar eclipses and changes in star visibility with latitude, that the Earth was spherical. The idea that people thought the Earth was flat until Columbus, it's really kind of a myth. The more educated people kind of were aware that it wasn't. Now let's touch on his geocentric model. Ptolemy's system of epicels and difference look clunky to us today, but it was mathematically brilliant for his day and age. His model could predict planetary positions to within a degree or two, remarkably accurate for naked eye astronomy. In practice, it worked so well that it delayed acceptance of the heliocentrism for centuries. Ptolemy didn't stop at astronomy. He wrote also about geography, accidentally underestimating the Earth's size, like I've mentioned, an error that later helped convince Christopher Columbus and other explorers that Asia was actually closer than it actually was. And yes, he even wrote a major book on astrology, arguing it should be grounded in astronomy and mathematics, not in superstition. In many ways, Ptolemy wasn't just an astronomer. He was one of the earliest scientific modelers, more concerned with prediction than with physical truth. He was wrong about the universe's structure. We absolutely know that. But he was right about something just as important. A model doesn't have to be perfect to be useful. And that's perhaps his greatest legacy. So we'll have more on Ptolemy as we move forward. Look forward to that. Hope you found this interesting. I'll have the text of the podcast over on EadsyAstronomy if you want to read it. Hope everything's going well. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for gathering around the telescope.